We are right now in the middle of the winter here in central Arkansas. We're about to go over the fishing report for Lake Ouachita, Degray, Hamilton, how the previous 2 weeks have been, and kind of getting you ready and planning for your fishing trip in the upcoming 2 weeks. Welcome to the Fishing Coach YouTube channel. Jimmy Eastling, I go by Coach E. Guys, thank you for tuning in the video. I do this bi-weekly, so once every 2 weeks I give a fishing report. I'm on the water a lot for my guide trips and on the water lessons right now. My big one is on the water lessons for offshore using forward-facing sonar. I've had a few actually guided trips, but most of them been in the past 2 weeks, mainly forward-facing sonar emphasis. But in this video, we're going to go over the reports for the 3 big lakes, and that in this video is to help you out in planning or to kind of get an idea. Okay, and if you have any other questions, shoot me a message on my Facebook, comment on the video down below. Appreciate you guys. Now, in this video, we're going to go over Degray, Ouachita first, Hamilton last. And Degray and Ouachita are pretty close, I think, in how you fish them, but Ouachita is just so much bigger than Degray. And then Hamilton right now is kind of in its own little league of how it's fishing and with the pressure it's getting from the tournament. The water temperatures right now, guys, mid to low 40s. I was fishing in 42-degree water at Ouachita this past week. And gosh, it's cold. It's cold. So we're going to talk about tactics. Things are changing. And then we have the upcoming weather, which is going to change things too potentially. We have rain in the forecast though. But first, guys, let me go ahead. Let me say thanks to the people that support my business and that make this video possible. First, we got Futural Marine. Futural Marine has 4 stores across the state. But the big thing right now, guys, is they are your Icon exclusive dealer for the state of Arkansas. Guys, I've been in every boat on the water lesson trips, brand new to old. Guys, you see I'm in a Bass Cat. I own a Bass Cat. I've ran and been in multiple boats though. If you know me personally, you know I'm a fan of a certain brand. But guys, right now I'm becoming more and more of a fan of an Icon, of the Icons. I got to meet with them. I got to hang out and see kind of how these boats are built and why. There's so many little details about the boat. Okay, guys, more information on them are down in the description. They have a couple on the lots right now. I'm impressed. I hope to be in one in the future, guys. Now, also, I want to thank Generation 3 Tire and Auto. I just got new trailer tires on my Bass Cat, by the way, guys. I got these crazy wheels on this thing that came with it. Rick Pierce decided in 2007, let's put 20-inch wheels on a boat, and so I had to get me some new tires for it. Okay, but Generation 3 Tire Auto are going to compete with any of your tire prices in Saline County. Okay, also the oil change is pretty cheap. Go by and give them a chance. It's a 3rd generation family business. As you can see, all of my businesses I'm with are family-owned businesses and generation down the line. Also, guys, Sawco Roofing Company, okay, guys. One thing about Sawco, okay, the owner, Buzz Sawyer, is a fisherman, okay, so why not go support a fisherman? But the big thing about Buzz is he's blue-collar, he's a hard-working man, and his family is all working with him. Great people, and that's one thing I like to be partnered with is people that are work hard, great, and are very humbling, and that's what they are, okay? I know we just had all the snow. We got rain coming. By the time you're watching this video, I think they had a holiday sale or a holiday kind of roof inspection going on, but I think it might be done by the time you watch this video. But still, give them a call. With all the weather coming up, they'll shoot you straight and kind of help the process easy for you on getting a roof. Okay, guys, thank you very much. Now, let's get into the report, okay? So, let's first talk about Degray. I have been fishing the lower end of Degray, primarily due to throwing the minnow, doing the hold. There's giants down there last year. I mean, we had the double digits caught. I like fishing clear water in the winter. But if the clear water is not your thing, it's a time to go up the lake. And there's a bait that I'm going to share real quick, and this goes to Ouachita too. I remember getting told when I was young, and I got to witness it when I was a co-angler on a trip, and then I kind of took it from me, a wiggle wart. When that water temp gets under 50 degrees, there's something about a wiggle wart. Now, like right now, guys, I've seen 42 to 44. The thing about a wiggle wart is, I will say, light line, fish it slow. Okay, now you can still fish it fast, but the colder the temps, I always learn to fish it slower. Something about this wiggle wart. Now, this right here colors for more stained water. Like I said, there's going to be some more rain coming. We've had all the, the runoff kind of deal. When I was at Mount Harbor, Ouachita, I was actually more kind of surprised the water was cleaner down there was what it was when I was down there this last week. But for Degray, that upper end in that river section, look for them rock points, look for them transitions, okay? This is something that you can get down them bluffs, fish this thing really slow, but don't be afraid to throw it on 8-pound test, okay? I do know guys that will throw this on a spinning rod on 6-pound test, kind of like the Rapala, I just went blank, the old Rapala Shad Rap. That's another lure when these water temps get cold. Get them kind of old school crankbaits out. Fish them really, really slow. But for the gray, I had a trip, man, guys. I'll share. It was Monday when it never got over 25 degrees 2 weeks ago. We went big bass hunting with a client of mine that's done multiple trips. He still wanted to go, and we went. But guys, we saw more 6 to 8 pound fish than I have seen in one day than I have seen in a long time. I'm talking for our lakes in Central Arkansas. We had chances to catch them, but our stuff would get frozen. The braid and the spinning rods would get frozen. The fluoro was getting frozen. Man, it was just tough conditions. And that was early in the morning. In the afternoon, they didn't really want to play as much. But there are fish in grass. I've been seeing a lot of fish in grass. To target those fish in grass, right now, Alabama rig. This is Jamie's. This is the Black's Custom Lure Widowmaker. The old Alabama rig is one thing I'm throwing over the grass right now. And then also a jerkbait. This is a great time to throw the jerkbait over them grass. So like on the jerkbait right here, just the old, I made a jerkbait video recently, but like this is just the Megabass Vision 110+1. I've been throwing a +2 as well to get on the deeper edges because the lake levels are up right now. The lakes are like at normal pools, so that grass line's a little deeper in certain sections. And then the minnow, like I said, guys, I've been throwing I'm throwing a variety of heads, 1/8, quarter, 3/16, mostly a half though. So this is just a half right here with the baby Z2. That's kind of just been my all-around one, and that's kind of for the gray and Ouachita. But for the gray, I did find a lot of bait in Brushy Creek. I couldn't find the fish though. There's a lot of bait there, but those fish, man, have just been glued to the bottom in the depths. But like Ouachita now, guys. Here I am, Ouachita. Been on Ouachita a lot recently, and we filmed an uncut, and I put the video out there. But Ouachita, man, we've had a blast. I had one trip this last week. We had about 18 pounds. We could have broke 20. I think we would have executed. Been catching some good fish. I had another day where I went to the west end of the lake, and man, we didn't do as good. But I don't like the west end of the lake in the winter for how I fish. Now there's fish getting caught up there. I've heard of fish getting caught. I said if you go that west end up the river, it's more of a better shallow deal. Now there's some fish offshore as we did. We caught them on channel swing points. 30 to 50 feet, and when you find them, you find them. And like my day at Mountain Harbor, we found so many in that depth range. But right now, I've been fishing mostly that midsection where I've had success. Crystal, Rabbit, Brady. I hadn't gone to the east end in a while. You guys know me. I love fishing the east end of the lake. But if you're going to fish deep and try to find them deep fish, look at easy primary, areas. Points. Look at channel swing points. Humps, where channel splits. Okay. Now, one thing right now, too, is if you drop your live scope and think you're going to throw a suspended fish, you might not see a bass. There are fish in that grass, and they're thick in the grass, or they're on the bottom. And that's so hard to find them on the bottom. That's what I've been doing on my lessons is teaching people how to find them. For example, my 5-pound fish I caught this last week on the lesson, never saw it. Like, we're fishing a point. Now we're using live scope to see if fish show up. Like, when I threw my minnow out there. 40 foot of water, and I'm working it. Then a fish comes off the bottom. We see them, catch them. That fish ate. But there's a lot of scenarios like that to where you still got to fish in areas. You still have to kind of know what you look for. Sometimes they show themselves on the bottom, which is nice. You got to know what you look for. I fished with a guy recently who fishes a lot, and he was like, hey, you're teaching me how to see them. How to kind of what you're looking for. And so that's one of the things that's really, lately with these water temps, so guys, like I said, I've been catching fish in grass and on the bottom on rock. Okay, that deep range is 30, 50 foot. That grass range, man, is going to be 15 to 20, okay, depending on what part of the lake you're in. But they're on that outside edge, and you might not see them. You might throw that Alabama rig up there, reel it, and then there they come out. So there's a lot of right now trusting your gut on, hey, this is a location where a bass should be, okay? So now, there you go on Ouachita. Like I said, I haven't mentioned other lures. I know there's going to be a bladed jig bite soon happening, but with that colder water. Whoo, and the other bait, kind of going everywhere now. The other bait, hair jig, okay? I pulled the hair jig out, and this is an old gray hair jig. So for Ouachita to gray with that grass, get the hair jigs out, okay? I pulled it out recently. I couldn't get him to eat it on one of my days, but this little guy, when it gets cold temps like this, it still catches them. Okay, still catches them. All right, now guys, Hamilton is still putting out big bags. Hamilton, and I didn't see the results from yesterday's tournament. I know Cannon and Carson won another tournament in the winter series. They had about 18 pounds, had 5 for a big bass. I think Anvil Jaw was one with 17. I'm going to put the Anvil Jaw results right there. And then Lance won the Rusty Hook. Lance Freeman, Ladd Owens won the Rusty Hook out there 2 days ago. And they had 20 pounds, which is, and they all look the same. They're all 4-pounders. So some pretty good weights getting put in. But, right now, 12, 13, 14 is still kind of in that check range. But I'm going to get to this, guys. Hamilton is still an up and down place. You might go out there, and when they're eating, they're not. From what I've been getting told, now, guys, I've been on Hamilton the least in the last 2 weeks. Like I said, I've been on Ouachita. I went back to Ouachita. It's weird how my trips go. I'm on one lake a lot for 2 weeks, another lake a lot for 2 weeks. So I took a break from Hamilton, and but I'm still been hearing about this about Hamilton. Like there's a day they eat, then there's a day it's like, what's going on? And that's winter fishing. Also, a lot of people I've been talking to, like when they bite, they bite. You have flurries, okay? So you got to keep that head down. There have been better fish caught shallow. Because I've talked to the guys that have done good in the tournaments. There is a shallow bite happening, but it's in very specific locations, and you kind of have to know what you're looking for. I heard jerkbait's been a player. Lipless crankbait's been a player. The ODT6 has been a player. There's still some minnow fish getting caught. But there's so many more ways. And I forgot to share this, but the drop shot. The drop shot was catching some fish. Drop shot, the mooch minnow caught some fish, I know. I did have a Hamilton trip. I forgot in this 2 weeks. It was really good. We caught him on the drop shot that day and lost a giant on one of these. We lost a big one. I should have said this earlier. We lost a big one on my Hamilton trip on this right here. This is the Core Tackle Tush 7/0. This is a 1/2 ounce one with the 6-inch well. I forgot I did have a trip, man. I should probably start writing this stuff down. We did have a trip out there that's really good. We could have broke 20 pounds. This was right after my other video got released. So it was like right at 2 weeks ago. We could have had over 20 pounds easy. I had a client losing like a 6 or 7 on this guy right here. And that was on a single lay down in like 10 foot of water. Like just a lay down, didn't see the bass, threw your swim bait, here it comes, ate it. So that was my last day, and we caught them on the minnow and 30 to 50 foot that day too. So, but guys, Hamilton, there's so many ways to catch them, and I really think you got to fish a lot of instincts right now. I've not got much reports of fish getting caught in that submerged grass. The brush pile bite's starting to heat up, but everybody's fishing brush, and you have to find the brush piles that are kind of hidden right now, kind of secretive. But if I go out there, I'm still fishing a lot of those major creeks close to the main lake. Okay, so I say main lake, Hot Springs Creek, where it was close to the main lake. Those points right there is an area. Whereas you kind of go to Little Mazarn, where Little Mazarn kind of dumps to the main lake. Now there are some fish more in the mid creeks areas. I've not got many results or many inputs of the backs of the creeks, but with all this rain coming in, be ready for a runoff bite. Okay, so be ready for the runoff bite. We have all that rain coming in, and or supposedly coming. Hopefully it doesn't come, but with all that rain, there's going to be a runoff bite. I don't care if the water temps are 42, 43. There's going to be some fish going up shallow somewhere, guys. And there we go. Also on those main lake points, don't forget about a football jig. Those fish, like I said, are glued to the bottom. Those main lake points where those channel swings are up to it, they're kind of, what I would do is go up shallow with a crankbait, jerkbait, and then go off with a jig, the spoon, and the minnow, okay? If I was going out looking, I'm trying to find that zone that they're in. Because, like I said, I've not been out there in the last week, but I've been hearing some bigger fish have moved shallow, and as we guys all know, those like Hamilton fish do live shallow. There's a lot of fish that live shallow, but there are a lot of people out there right now throwing the minnow, trying to get it done. I mean, I've seen it, I hear about it. Lake's getting pressure, but where I've been at Ouachita, there's been not many boats at all. So I'm gonna try to keep having a lot of trips at Ouachita right now, guys. But appreciate you. Thank you for coming to the Fish Report. Let me any comments on the questions, answers. I feel like sometimes I do good with these, sometimes I don't. Kind of go all over the place, but anyway, it's all right. We'll see you on the next one.